What's up, guys? So the Premier League season is upon us, and I know I may be American, but I do love my English soccer, or football, sorry. So I'm gonna do some predictions for it. They're probably gonna end up very wrong, but I do like talking about it anyway, so let's get started. So starting us off at the very bottom, I'm gonna go with Sheffield United to finish 20. I just think that they haven't really made the additions necessary to make themselves Premier League quality. I think it's gonna really come up to hurt them. I think they're gonna finish dead last, and it's probably not gonna be that close. In 19th, I'm gonna go with Newcastle. I think getting rid of Rafa Benitez is really gonna come back to hurt them. I think that he really did a great job keeping them up the last couple of years, and not having him really going to come back to bite them. I think they're going to struggle, finish 19th this year. Finishing 18th and rounding off the relegation trio, I'm going to go with Southampton. I think they've been really lucky to stay up, frankly, the last few years, and a lot of people have predicted them to go down. I think this is the year. It's been common. They haven't really added anyone for quite some time. It feels like anyone of note, at least. So I think this is their year, and they're going to be headed down to the championship with those other two teams. Finishing 17th and just barely missing the drop, I'm going to go with Norwich. I think that they've proven their worth after winning the championship last year to secure their relegation, but I still don't think their squad's that great, and we saw this last time when they came. Didn't stick around that long in the Premier League, so hopefully they can last a little bit longer this time. I'm picking them to stay in the Premier League and keep their status for one more year. Coming in 16th, I'm going to go with Brighton, and I gotta admit, these guys were a complete oddball to me because I almost forgot that they were even in the Premier League. They just have not done anything of note in quite some time, it feels like, but by some miracle they held on and stayed in Premier League last season, so I'm picking them to do it again, just barely, when they finish in 16th. Next up in 15th is Crystal Palace, and they were very lucky to hold on to Zaha here, and I think that's the only reason that they're going to stick around. I think that if they had lost him, they could be around like 18th, 19th, that kind of area, but I think his presence alone will keep them up, and they'll be able to finish solid little position of 15th. Moving up the table to 14th, I'm going to go with Aston Villa. I think that they're just too big a club to struggle in the Premier League. It was really a fluke, really, when they went down, and especially the way that they did it. It was really ugly in the end there. I think they've got a newfound spirit. They're led by a young core. I think they're going to do well, finish number 14. Finishing 13th, I'm going to go with Watford. It feels like they're really not the most flashy. They don't have the biggest names, but somehow they just keep getting the job done, and I think they're going to do the same. Not the most impressive finish, not really near the top 10, but still a solid finish for a relatively small club. I'm taking Watford for number 13. Finishing 12th, I'm going to go with Leicester City. Of course, this squad is a very far cry from the team that won the whole dang thing a few years ago, so I don't think they're going to make that much noise this year, but once again, they're always good for a solid finish in the league. I think they're going to be just fine and finish 12th. Coming in 11th and finishing off the bottom half, I'm going to go with Burnley. This has been a really weird team to watch when they've been in the Premier League. It's like, are they staying up? Are they going down? Are they good? Are they bad? Are they hot? Are they cold? Like, what is going on with Burnley? I don't know, but I feel like this year they might be okay. Complete wild card pick, I feel like it's time for a little bit of a wild card, so here we are, Burnley number 11. Let's see what happens. Who knows? Alright, time for the top 10. This is where it gets juicy. And with number 10, I'm going with Bournemouth. Feels like they are just always solid, and anytime that Eddie Howe's there, good things are going to happen. Again, just like Watford a little bit, not really any big names, nothing that's really going to blow you away, but just a team that gets the job done. They're going to do it again. They're going to finish at number 10. Ninth place will be Everton. They still got the big names. They still got those big club ambitions. Oh, Everton. I don't know if you'll ever learn. But who knows? They've done a really good job of bringing in players to refill the positions of players that they've lost, and I think that's really important if you're going to try to stay competitive for a long time. So Everton could make a run at it. I don't think so. I think they're going to stick around a very respectable position of 9th. Moving up the table to 8th, I'm going to go with Wolves. I feel like this team has just gone leaps and bounds above what people have expected. They've got a really strong roster, and it seems like it's only getting better. I think Wolves are destined for number 8, and who knows, they might even go higher than that. Coming in at number 7, and just barely missing out on European competition, I'm going to go with my team, West Ham United. Yes, I might be picking some favorites there, but if you look at the business that they've done in this transfer window, I think you've got to be really impressed. I mean, they lost their leading goal scorer, Marko Arnautovic, to China, and all of a sudden I feel even more confident in their attack than I was before. They're bringing back players like Yarmolenko and Lanzini, who were out for injury last year, to bolster that attack, and I feel like they've become very solid in the back with that core of Valbuena and Diop leading the way. And of course, Fabianski, the hammer of the year last year, very solid between the sticks. I think West Ham are going to have a great year, and maybe even finish 7th, maybe even push for European competition. That'd be a lot of fun. Who the heck knows? The ceiling is very high for West Ham this season. Okay, so it's time to pick the top 6, and yes, I have left the 6 biggest teams in England for these final 6 positions, so not really a surprise there, but I do think you'll be surprised by who I'm taking at number 6, and that's Manchester United. I just think that with a new manager and with so many new faces in the team, they're going to really struggle to gel, and that they're going to have some kinks to work out, and it's going to take them some time to do that. Yes, they have the potential, but will they have it immediately? I don't think so. I think they're going to fall behind a little bit and not be able to catch up to those leaders in time to really make a run at it. I think they're going to finish number 6, still good for European competition, but not quite good enough for the Champions League. Next up, I'm going to go with Chelsea at number 5. They have had to deal with the transfer ban this offseason, but I think people are going to be really impressed with just how deep this Chelsea team is. They've got some players who are ready for increased playing time and are going to really take advantage of it, and I think they've got a good youth system with players who are ready to come into the spotlight and really make a difference. Plus, they somehow got Christian Pulisic in the middle of this transfer ban. Not sure that happened, but he's one of the best young players in the world, one of the best American players. Go America. That'll be really fun to see him one in the blue for Chelsea. I think they're going to be sneaky good this year, putting them at number 5. Finishing 4th and getting into the very elusive top 4 is going to be Arsenal. I think they have had the talent the last few years, they've just underachieved, but this is the year that the talent's going to come together, especially those forwards. I mean, you look at the names, just so dangerous. On their day, one of the best forward groups in the league, and I think that they'll finally show that this season. Defense still remains a question, and that's probably going to prevent them from going any higher, but I think 4th place is great for Arsenal, and that's exactly where I see them finishing this season. Coming in 3rd, where they seem to be every single year, is Tottenham, and I think this team could have been way up or way down. I mean, they almost lost Eriksen, at which point you were like, are they even going to make the Champions League? And then they almost got Dybala, which was like, they might win the whole thing. Well, Tottenham are right where they are every single year. They have Harry Kane, they have Christian Eriksen, they have Dele Alli, they have the big names, and I think they'll be just fine. I think they're destined for another solid finish at number 3. Alright, so we're down to our final 2 teams. Who is going to win the Premier League in 2019-2020? Well, Manchester City have won it 2 years in a row. Can they three-peat? Very possible. Liverpool won the Champions League last year. They've been so close to finally getting one in England. I think they're going to do it. I think Liverpool are going to win the Premier League trophy finally. Just feels like they've got everything going for them right now. I mean, Jurgen Klopp has proven himself as one of the best managers in the entire world. That offense is still one of the most dangerous in the world, and all of a sudden the defense is one of the best in the world. And you look at the defense a couple of years ago, you look at them now, like night and day. Really impressed with what Liverpool have done with that roster. I just think that it's the perfect storm for them. They're going to win the Premier League and just barely edge out Manchester City in a real race to the finish. I mean, credit to City because they do have the biggest budget and the biggest expectations. I think they'll be right there the whole way, but I think they're going to come just short. Nothing against Manchester City, still a great team. But I think Liverpool, it's just their time. It's their time to win. I really believe it. I think Liverpool are going to be your 2019-2020 Premier League champions. So that is it, folks. I hope you enjoyed my predictions. And if you disagree with them, or if you agree with them even, go ahead on down into the comments and let me know your thoughts. I really like interacting with you guys, and this is kind of a new thing for me. I haven't really suggested my opinions about sports all that often. So I'm starting predictions here. We'll see what you think. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. So I'll see you next time, and enjoy this Premier League season.